Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 13 of Get Real with Rajiv. Today we have Shweta behind the camera who's going to be the voice of your questions, and we're going to take 4 questions like we do in every episode. So Shweta, shoot the first question.
The first question is by Rakesh Rana, and his question is, what should be the approach for SMEs in a sagging market, and how can one focus on business? Should they innovate or renovate?
Well, here's what I truly believe in, Rakesh, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Rakesh, here's what I truly believe in. Macroeconomics rarely affects micro entrepreneurs. So the first recommendation is stop watching the news. The news messes with your mind. Everybody's telling you there is a catastrophe, there's a disaster, when there is none that is going to affect your life. Yes, are there segments and industries that are going through a correction? I call it a correction, not a recession. There will never be a recession, there's always a correction. So don't let the negativity seep inside, because most entrepreneurs allow the negativity to seep inside and then become inactive and lazy. So recession obviously hits even their bank balance. So I would say stay proactive, and at the same time, if your line of work is related to an industry that is facing a correction cycle, let's just say you're serving the automobile industry or the real estate industry, then I would definitely say innovate and renovate. Do both. Explore parallel business lines, target customers who are spending money, build capabilities to fulfill their needs. It's always about staying in touch with the needs of the market. As long as you're fulfilling the needs of a segment of customers who are spending money and you're able to add value to them, recession will never hit you. Market will always correct itself, but you will be proactive and growing abundantly. So that's my advice for you, Rakesh. Let's go with the second question.
So the second question is by Sandeep Kotian, and his question is how to overcome the deep fear of failure from the past few painful experiences as an entrepreneur to start something new.
Okay, Sandeep, I can speak out of personal experience. When we go through a failure, especially a failure that is financial in our business, we attach a lot of anger, a lot of animosity, a lot of shame and self-blame to it. So sometimes it's lack of acceptance itself that we failed. Like sometimes you beat yourself up and go into how could I make this mistake? So the first step is forgive yourself. Accept that you screwed up, and it's okay to screw up, and just know that this is not going to be your last screw up. You're only going to continue to screw up in bigger ways, better ways as you grow in your journey. So firstly, accept that the highs and lows are a part of the game. Secondly, forgive the person or people you may be blaming, because here's what happens. Sometimes we would have failed or had a setback not because of our actions, but because we trusted certain people blindly, and then we have a lot of animosity and anger against them. So forgiveness is the key. Forgiveness to yourself and forgiveness to others, and then accepting that it's okay. Highs and lows are a part and parcel of life. When you understand and accept that, truly internalize that emotion, you kind of neutralize the fear, and then you take the next step. Now, even when you take the next step and you start growing, you start learning, gaining more traction, I know sometimes there's this residue of worry. I experienced it. When things started working out for me, I still had a residue of worry at the back of my mind saying, what if things fall apart again? Again, it's a game of awareness where you catch that voice in your head and say, hey, listen, shut up. Nothing's going to happen. Let me continue to play the game. So it's all about managing your inner conversations with yourself. It's all about creating more clarity for yourself through being aware to what are you thinking, what are you feeling, and where is it coming from, and then neutralizing those emotions. So self-awareness, acceptance, forgiveness. These would be my 3 elements to move forward as an entrepreneur from failure, so that you can rebuild and resurrect whatever you wanted to do. So with that, let's go to the third question.
So the third question is by Sidra Khanna, and her question is how to keep the top performers motivated throughout the year when we have an appraisal cycle of 1 year and we can't afford to give bonuses in between.
Well, thank you so much for this question, and here's a myth I want to bust right at the beginning. Consider this. The notion is that money motivates people. No. That's not the reality. It's a notion that money motivates people. You got to pay people enough so that they don't think about the money. But what motivates top performers is not just the money. What motivates top performers is actually an environment of learning, an environment of growth, responsibility, and challenges. Key element, pay people enough so they don't think about the money, and also create clarity of what is the potential of earning they have over a period of time. I think when you do these two things, you take the equation of money out of the way and you give people an environment which is focused on creation, and that's when people are most motivated, where there is something new to learn, something new to do, something that challenges them. That's what the workforce of today enjoys. So work on that, my friend. And let's go with the fourth question.
So the fourth question is by Kiran Malhotra, and his question is, customer demands a lot of quick action when he knows that work happens in stages. How to handle this? Should we be polite or give it back?
I love that. I love the way that question has been framed. Should you be polite or give it back? Well, sometimes customers push for the sake of pushing, and you as an entrepreneur have to be aware of that are they being reasonable? And if they're not being reasonable, you don't have to give it back. There's no reason to fight with your customers, but what you can do is assertively communicate to them or question them on how their demands are realistic or not realistic. Now, if they give you an alternative that somebody else is able to deliver at a faster pace than you are, then get curious and learn what is that someone else able to do that you're not able to do. Otherwise, I would always recommend a candid, friendly, respectful conversation with your customer to give them a real perspective about, hey, this takes this much time, so how do you expect me to do this for you? So I think most people are sane, unless you have an insane customer. Most people are sane enough to understand a process and the gestation period behind every process, so they would comply. Don't give in. A lot of entrepreneurs make this mistake of giving in and becoming too harsh on themselves and their teams to just match some unreasonable expectations. So hold your ground, but do it respectfully. That's what I would recommend. So with that, we are at the end of episode number 13 of Get Real with Rajiv. We got to pick a winner for the week. So Shweta, winner for the week. I like the pick of Shweta because I completely agree to that selection. We're going to give it to the person who asked question number 2, which is Sandeep. And Sandeep, my team is going to reach out to you and we're going to gift you a copy of my book, Lead or Bleed. Enjoy the read, and those of you who enjoy Get Real with Rajiv, make sure you share your learnings in the comments below and share the video with your friends on their timeline so more entrepreneurs can get impacted by it. Continue asking questions, everybody. Look forward to seeing you in the next episode of Get Real with Rajiv.